So today we're going to talk about scroll saw safety, and we'll make some practice cuts. I'll show you how to do that and talk about how to be safe around the scroll saws. And so I have a piece of wood here. It's basically something like you'll be getting, and we're going to make 3 practice cuts on it. We're going to make a straight line. We're going to cut a straight line. We're going to make an S-type curve, because this is a common curve that you cut. And then we're also going to make what's called a relief cut. And that basically looks like this. So you're going to cut in. And then cut across here. Okay. So these are the cuts that you'll practice before you start cutting your projects on the scroll saw. Okay. Alright, so you'll all have your project laid out by the time you get over to the scroll saw, so you'll be set to go there. Alright, so we'll talk about the scroll saw. So these are the scroll saws, and I just wanted to point out some of the features that you need to be aware of for your safety and how to operate the saw. First of all, when you come over to the scroll saw, you will have your safety glasses on. You will remove any jewelry. You'll tie loose hair back. You will go ahead and remove any lanyards or roll up any sleeves that might get caught in the moving parts. So all of those safety features you think about as you're coming over to use this power saw. So some of the things that you'll see as you get over here, first of all, the stop-start switch is our big switches here. They're operated by the start and stop buttons. The start, and here's what the saw sounds like. Okay, and stop. Now, there is a on-off switch from the factory right here. We don't use this in the wood shop. It's always left in the on position. It may be that somebody turns it off, and if they do that, the saw won't start. So if that's the case, hit stop, look, it's probably this, either that or it's unplugged, turn it to on, which is the I, and then it'll start again. Okay? Alright, so this knob right here, and you'll notice that there is a mark. It's a silver mark, and it's going to align with this mark right here. So you will come, and if that's moved, you'll line them up like that. And so then that is where you want your speed of the saw to be. And so that is the best cut and also the best speed for what we do here in the shop. Alright, so we have the pressure foot. There is a knob over here that you turn, and the pressure foot will move up and down, right? Now notice that it will have some adjustment back and forth as well. You need to get the pressure foot so that it is sitting on the board, and it works best if you go on the back of the board, because then you have all of this that you can adjust both for parallel to the board and also forward and back. So of all the ways to do this, it seems this works the best in here. Notice it's just sitting on the board, then I just tighten the knob. I look, and if I'm not parallel in the blade in the foot, I can make sure that I have the blade centered so that it looks like the blade is equidistant between the 2 legs of the foot. Okay, it looks pretty good right there. So, and I can see, yep, it goes under there nicely. The reason I want this pressure foot there is the machine moves up and down, and if I don't have pressure foot down, the wood has a tendency to do this as you are sawing. This is an air nozzle, and you can adjust the air nozzle so that it blows the sawdust out of the way, and it's basically to aid in seeing your line. Sometimes you might have to readjust it. If you ever need to readjust it, please just turn it off, reach in there, readjust, and then go ahead and turn it back on. As we're cutting, I'll talk about some other safety features while cutting, and so I'll highlight those as we are actually doing some sawing. So my piece is laid out. I'm going to cut the straight line first, then I'm going to cut the S-curve, and then I'll show you how to do a relief cut. And so we'll see what that looks like. Alright, so as I start to saw, I make sure that my hands are not in front of the blade, they're on either side, and I have good hand placement here. I start to saw, and I just saw along my line. I'm not putting a whole bunch of pressure on the saw. Notice how fast it goes. Okay? I'm trying to follow my line. Okay, I'm through. Now, it may be that this piece, I need to reach in to get it out. If I need to reach in where the blade is, turn the saw off, because you might contact the blade with your hand or fingers, and the blade can cut you on the backside as easily as the front. So you know that you're going to be safe if you just turn the saw off if you have to reach in around the blade. Again, my hands were on either side of the blade. I never want my hand or fingers in line with the blade, because it's really easy to forget after the piece of wood goes through the blade. The next thing is going to be my thumb or fingers. That's how somebody got cut pretty severely in here. They didn't follow that rule. So fingers on either side of the blade. So our S-curve. Now, one word about cutting curves on a saw. The only part that's sawing is the front part of the blade, because that's where the teeth are, and so I pivot around the front of the blade. I can't move side to side and think I'm going to cut. There's no teeth to cut anything. So if you've ever played basketball, you think about when you are needing to pivot on one foot. I kind of think of that as I'm just kind of moving around the front of the blade, because that's my pivot point. So make this cut here. Okay, so I'm pivoting around the front of the blade, following my line. Again, noticing that I'm not going really fast. I'm taking my time, paying attention, and just getting the feel for the saw through the cut. Pivot point is at the front of the blade. Now, as the blade is exiting, I need to know where my fingers are so that they're not in front of the blade. I'm always aware of where my fingers are in relation to the blade, so that I don't have any contact with the blade. There's my curved cut. When you're finished sawing and you've got scraps, there are boxes underneath the saw. Just put them in there and then they'll be emptied. Alright, our relief cut. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut down to the intersection point here and back out. I'll cut down to the intersection point here and back out. And then what I need to do is I need to kind of go halfway down, and I need to make a curved cut and kind of swing into the bottom. And so you can watch me cut that as I go through. Again, notice where this is. It's pretty close to the edge. I need to be sure that my fingers or thumbs aren't in line with the saw blade, and I may just need to use one hand, and that's okay too. You can control this with one hand. Make sure that you know where your fingers are in relation to the blade. So let's see. Okay, I'm at the intersection point. I wanted to show you that my thumb is outside of the foot right here. I felt comfortable doing that because I could see that the foot was going to be inside of my thumb, If I wasn't comfortable with that, I could use one hand to hold on to the piece of wood. So I just back out. I'll do the other side. So I go down to the intersection point. I back out, and now I'm going to make that curved cut. And it's just like when you did your other curved cut. Pivot on the front of the blade and come around. And I'm going to intersect with the lower portion of my cut here. And I'm going to get into where I cut previously. And did you see it come off of there? So I'm going to shut the saw off. I can remove the piece like that. And now notice I'm pretty close to the blade. I removed the piece, and there it is. And now I cut here earlier. I'm going to come back through. I'm going to finish the cut, and my relief cut will be done. So I can put it in here like this. And here is my little piece that I cut out, and there is my practice relief cut. So if you have any questions, make sure you ask your instructor and get the proper technique for doing these very common cuts on a scroll saw.